Hi, I'm Dave. Welcome to the channel. Now, if you've been keeping up with current affairs, you'll already know that today is another new Revoslot day. So the first thing you might be thinking is, why did he buy the green one? Well, this is my car. Well, one of them. And it's very green. But it turns out this Opel Kadett is even more green than that. I was quite shocked. Now, if we take this indoors, I mean, I'm sorry about this. This is the best colour my camera close-up was able to do. It struggled all over the place. Yeah, it really is very bright. It's camera confusingly bright. And I sort of wondered if this was kind of a fantasy livery dreamed up by some slot car designer, because, you know, hell, let's just paint something really green. But no, this is a genuine livery for a car that is campaigned in something called Slalom, which is a kind of Alpine European version of Time Attack. And here's the real one. Its colour's slightly different, but it's very green. You get the idea. And this is how it's driven. And this is the guy that drives it. His name is Christoph Zwahlen, and he campaigns that Porsche he's standing in front of now. But up until I think only a year or two ago, he was campaigning the bright green Opel Kadett in Slalom, which, as I say, is kind of a Central European version of Time Attack. And he's very good at it. He's won the championship twice. Second places, third places, he's always there or thereabouts. Certainly was up until 2013, when he had a quite serious accident and had to take a 5-year break, but he came back and campaigned again and was just as good as before. So if we look at the slot car itself on the track, it is, as I might have mentioned, and as you can see, very green. Now, it's not the only one of these I've got. Previously, I got the Castrol Opel Kadett when that first came out. And that's a nice car, but it has been probably the biggest pain for me as a Revoslot car. The finish is alright, but I don't know, they could have put another coat of lacquer over the decals. It looks a bit foggy, and it's never quite run as well as all of my other Revoslots, and I've never managed to pin down exactly why. This one, well, it's exactly the same body mould. They've not changed that at all. It is literally just a repaint and some new decals and a massive great big beer shelf spoiler on the back. The one thing I did notice about this original one was that the body doesn't seem to be quite straight. I mean, if you look on the left there, there's a lip to the wheel arch from the wheel, and on the right it sits flush, and that's where it sort of sits naturally, and you can move it, but it sort of shifts itself back. And when I looked at this new one, exactly the same look. Bit of a lip there, flush that side. So there doesn't seem to be anything, inverted commas, wrong with it. It's just I wonder if maybe the geometry of the mould they make the shells with isn't quite spot on. Doesn't seem to really affect anything, but it's just an observation, really. So what do we get in the box? All the usual Revoslot goodies, of course. You get the car, that's obvious. A couple of stickers, because they know we love stickers. The deep wood guide and the optional magnet. And 2 sets of mirrors, because no mirrors are applied to this car. When I bought the Castrol one, it came with mirrors stuck in. This and the previous Mercedes Revoslot have come without the mirrors in, so you can put them in if you want to, which I think is better. It also comes with the usual literature with all the parts and the part numbers and the hop-up parts as well. And as usual, I'm going to fit it with my favourite FT Slot Technic SCD1044 chip, and because it suits my track, some of the standard 035 Slotting Plus braid, because, I don't know, the Revoslot stuff's just not up to scratch on my track. So obviously I've done a chipping before. If you want to watch it in detail, go and watch the black and gold Wooding Escort Revoslot one. But I did wonder, if I'd got all these tools here laid out, how quickly could I do this? I've never timed it because I've always had to keep stopping and showing you bits and filming, and so I thought I'll just run the camera and we'll just see how long it actually takes. See, 9 minutes. I mean, I messed up the stopwatch there, but it just takes 9 minutes. I wasn't rushing for anything. I just did it at my own speed and ran the clock, and that's where we were at. So there's one little trick I'd like to show you, which I picked up off Home Racing World. Now, these front wheels on these are on stub axles, so they're independent, so you can't really put them on a tyre truer. But all you really need to do is get a nice sharp scalpel blade and run it over the tyre like this, and just take the centre ridge out of the front tyres. I'm glad I saw that in Harry's video. It is very effective. So with both of those kind of flattened off a fair bit, it's time to add a bit of oil here and there and take it to the track, see how it goes.
3, 2, 1, go!
It wasn't too hard to get the gear mesh reasonable. I mean, it's still not right. I could do with fiddling it a bit more, but it was pretty good. And the car is nicely set up straight out of the box. I haven't done any, proper tuning to it beyond changing the braids. And as you can see, it's very happy at speed round this track pretty much straight away. Which is kind of what you expect from Revoslot, but I think this one, of the Group 2 smaller cars, is probably the best straight out of the box of all of them. And of course it wouldn't be a bit of Dave track video without this. Oops. So if we look at the numbers, you can see it's second in the list. Now the list I'm showing you is just the 6 Group 2 Revoslots I've got. I'm only comparing like for like. I'm not comparing apples and oranges or whatever they say. And as you can see, of these 6, it is second at 5.543 seconds behind the Alpha. Now the Alpha is a 0.12 of a second ahead of everything else, but on its own. But I think that's because it has a clearly wider front axle than the rest of them, and on my twisty track I think that's giving it better stability in the corners. But the spread across the other 5 only goes down to 5.634 seconds. So if we discount the Alpha at the top as being a bit of a freak result, between 5.543 seconds and 5.634 seconds, that's 5 cars, and they are covered by 0.091 of a second on the lap. Now, that can be down to just a hair trigger movement on the controller as a difference. So they are so evenly matched. And I like that. And if we check in with Mr. Thumbs Up Man, as you can see, he likes this car. And in fact, he likes all of these cars. And I think one day we should probably do a Living with Revoslots comparison of all of them. More of that another time. Anyway, thanks for watching one of my videos as always. If you liked it, you'll find a button specifically for that. If you subscribe to the channel, that really does help. And if you hit the bell, you'll get a notification the next time I post a video. And check out this slot car channel, Slot Valley Racing. Now, Dan is a prolific YouTube creator. He's always putting up videos. For a long time, it's all been about the smaller scale HO stuff. But he's very recently bought himself a Carrera set and one of those lovely Revoslot Mercedes. So his channel is going in different directions now as well. And it's going to be really interesting.